I think it's a pretty decent lane. Darkseer is
Yeah,
so
it
weak early
is.
on, and I think Mirana just covers him so
Mirana is
well.
just Mirana, right? She's so
Yeah,
self-sufficient that she doesn't need an iron shell. She's okay.
yeah, I think so as well.
But
Yeah, I would love it.
I'm just saying for the memes, right? 'Cause they won't pick it. If they pick it, Darkseer here, Ravens just gotta need a pick like something like Bloodseeker and GG.
Oh,
Underlord.
all right. It's the Oscar Underlord.
I mean, great against Broodmother. Usually we see this Underlord pick after the enemy has picked their position 1, right? So yeah, you pick Underlord to counter it. Because this may happen. You get purged.
They didn't ban Pudge, guys.
How is it the laning phase early on, Pudge against Underlord? I think I never saw that matchup.
In the
I
early
think Pudge
levels,
does
Pudge
fine,
is
right?
very weak, but after level 3, I think, when he gets the flash hit, it's not that bad, I think.
I think
Okay.
it's all about the Vanguard. As soon as Pudge buy his Vanguard, he's fine.
I don't know if he's going Vanguard here. Maybe he goes for the Hood.
I
You
think
think
he
so?
must buy Vanguard here. You're playing against Naga.
Yeah.
Radiant team ban.
They ban SF? No, they ban Amber.
Like, what I like about this Pudge Underlord matchup is like Pudge has a really high base damage, so maybe he can face off and get some less hits where other position 1 carriers wouldn't get it. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe that makes sense, but I never saw that matchup Pudge against Underlord, so I'm not sure what to expect.
5 seconds remaining.
This CM Pudge combo is getting so popular. Gaming Gladiators does it all the time. Just freeze someone, there's the hook.
Yeah, really easy combo, a lot of slow, easy to kill people. Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, even a Snapfire Pudge would be good as well, but yeah, I'd rather have Crystal Maiden Pudge.
It's not Ember ban. Yeah, of course they don't want to face an Ember Mirana.
Yo, how about a Kunkka for Ravens? You guys think he's good? I just think it's pretty decent against Naga. It is good against Glimpse. Just if you get Glimpse, just X mark yourself and you're fine. Same against Underlord. I think Kunkka is a pretty decent hero.
It's actually good
Ravens.
for both teams, no? It's not bad on the Infamous side as well.
I mean, I don't think Kunkka is. I think Kunkka is always good, but I'd rather have on Ravens. But Ravens has less pick, right? I'm pretty sure Ravens has less pick, or am I mistaken?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so
Kunkka's banned.
I like Kunkka. Oh, never mind.
They
forget it.
Yeah.
They banned the Kunkka. What?
Yeah, it was good for Infamous too. And they wouldn't get to pick 4, so
yeah, that
makes sense. All right, so mid hero is what Lex for Infamous. Tusk, okay. You got a Tusk mid.
I mean,
It's
it's
time
always good
available
to have a
now.
Tusk. But it's not a game that you look at it as like, oh yeah, this is a Tusk game. But I think it's always a Tusk game. So yeah.
Every
And
game
his
is a
lane-
Tusk game.
And Infamous does not have the last pick, so you gotta show your mid before the enemy, and you gotta pick a safe mid laner. And I think Tusk is one of them. Even if the lane is hard, he can still farm, he can still get runes and try to rotate. So yeah, I like that pick. And now if you're Ravens, how do you answer that? I think you have some answers for Naga already. Broodmother may not have a great game, but that's life. What do you have to... I think you need a hero to try to pressure early on with runes. Just follow Tusk. Don't let Tusk do whatever he wants. And do the same. Like
Is Invoker good here?
I really
think Primal Beast is good.
Primal Beast mid. Yeah, I like it.
I like it, actually.
Primal
Beast is a good idea.
They have Primal Beast or even Zeus. Zeus is not bad at all. Especially against Illusions heroes. But
I don't like Zeus that much.
It doesn't have the Primal Beast.
Oh, nice call, Sherlock. Nice call. It was a very good hero. Yeah. Alright, another aggressive hero, low cooldown. Deals with illusions. Perfect.
I just love the Ravens draft. And whenever I see a Pudge, I root for the Pudge.
Yeah.
I'm all in
You're going for Ravens, Sherlock?
I'm going for the Pudge, actually.
I mean, I look at both teams and I like Infamous lanes, and I'm thinking about lanes on this matchup. So yeah, I go with Infamous because of that. But I like Raven's draft. I just think Infamous lanes are a little bit better.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the Pudge lane against the Underlord. I'm not sure how that goes. But I like Raven's draft. I like their 3 cores. Broodmother, Pudge, Primal Beast seems very strong. I don't know if Naga will have the space to farm, so that's what we are going to find out in this game. Number 1, it's Math and Otomo. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, our esteemed panel. We've got ourselves game number 1 here of Ravens versus Infamous. And man, Monkey King banned out in the first phase, so turns out the Broodmother is the odd one to get let through here. And also a Tusk on 23, so very specific bans for both of these teams. Maybe not worrying as much about the meta and just, I don't want you to have that hero that you really like, all right? We'll deal with everything else.
And even Rubik, right, who's always been like a first pick, first ban hero, has also managed to somehow just nobody cares about him. I was like, we don't care about Rubik. So definitely both teams playing a little bit of their own style. I mean, this is like what they were saying, this is relegation match, you know? If you win this, there's a chance that you can stay in Division 1. You have to hope Elias doesn't win any more matches, and you have to win your remaining match. But if you lose, you are definitely going to Division 2. So at this point, teams are like, I just want to, give me the Primal Beast mid, give me what I want, give me the heroes that I want to play, like the off lane Underlord. And speaking of the 2 drafts, I love the Naga Siren pick as a counter. You can send your illusions to clear out the jungle creeps, so you don't have to risk your own body to do so. And Naga Siren won't be able to sort of control the top lane. The Broodmother can't control the top lane against the Naga Siren. I also feel like it's one of the better counters as a core. So overall, I'm leaning towards Infamous. How do you feel about the 2 drafts, Mr. Math?
I think that the fact that Brood made it through, I was kind of on like, Infamous always seemed like the bigger name to me, this organization. I have a really hard time seeing it fall to Div 2, so I was really going to give them this first game no matter what. But yeah, Broodmother getting through is a really big surprise to me. I think that the Primal Beast does deal very well with the Naga Siren. I would have really liked for them to maybe switch this Snapfire to a different position. As you said, the Rubik, uncontested, I believe, in this entire draft. Would have loved to see a Rubik versus Underlord matchup. That's one of my favorite ones to play as a Rubik player myself. But I still really like this draft. Getting the Broodmother through. I don't think they have the best physical damage to take it down, but oh man, looks like first blood. Maybe going to Infamous here, and there it is. Slottum picking it up on the Tusk. And again, that is your 23 pick Tusk. That made it all the way to the last phase here for both teams.
Yeah, this is the start you really want to give this guy because, we've seen Tusk always a tear in the mid game, but does fall off a little bit later on due to the hero just not really focusing a lot on the farm. You should always focusing on making space for the team. So starting off with this big, nice first blood, gonna be a big help for them. And one thing that Primal Beast does do very well is that he just gets so much bonus damage coming out from his passive, which makes it pretty hard for the Tusk to contest him in terms of CS.
This is very reminiscent to what we've seen in, honestly, the Tiny and Tusk matchup. Very similar things across the board.
Yes.
One with a lot of magical damage nuke, very high right-click damage, and you're a Tusk and you're trying to make it happen until you can rotate and do your big physical damage. But I'm sure that in a lot of ways this is already somewhat familiar for Slottum.
Yeah, sometimes we see them even take like a point tag team just so you can get that extra bit of damage. So you'll be like, oh yes, I got a last hit. But so far it's good. It's not too bad for him, he's got a few CS, but you can see the Primal Beast has 4 denies already, which is absolutely insane.
That's a good amount here, and honestly, we've only seen about 3 creep waves, so 1 per wave, you'll keep that, and almost even actually. Oh my goodness! Don't do the 7-7. Come on, Beppe. Come on. Give him something.
It's like no, you get no love from me at all, and it's gonna be very annoying for him the whole time. The Broodmother as well as the Snapfire, I do think that we might see MJZ fall once or twice because you got slow stuns, you got great chasing between those 2 heroes, and solid damage as well. I don't know if Naga Siren the Disruptor will be as threatening in the top lane. So if there's any top lane, I do think we'll go Raven favored at least for the first 10 minutes.
Should. And that, I think, makes a little bit of an issue. Now, Naga Siren, not one that's... Ooh, wait, bot lane. And we saw that. I believe Lil was talking about it here. CM with the Pudge. Very nice setup with the Frostbite into the hook. And Slottum will have to run away for a bit. But yeah, no, I do like that they're able to win that lane kind of upright. I think even Sherlock was talking about how, you know, Ravens have a really nice early game. Their laning stage has been good. They seem to make some good early map moves. And I think that's really good when you're playing against the Naga Siren, right? Because you still have an answer even later on, right? You have the trample, so Guitarro, he's got to get a lot of farm in the Naga. And if you're not getting in the laning stage, we're seeing that this is a really nice mid-game focus from Ravens. We may have a hard time seeing that Naga Siren get the farm that they need.
Yeah, and you know, Primal Beast deals really well with the Naga. You just charge in, you can remove all her illusions very fast, especially in the early game. So, but again, I'm okay with that. Like I said, I think the Naga Siren pick is going to do really well against the Brood Mother. I don't mind it at all. But it is one of the lanes where I think Ravens should be doing well as the top lane. And the mid lane, again, Primal Beast. Dude, he's got more denies than the Tusk has last hits. That is unfair. That is not right.
That is really rough. You can even see like stomping all the way back in, forcing a few tower shots as well. Pippy's just playing this very, very well. I imagine this is going to be one of those ones where you look in the mid lane at 6 minutes and just 6 heroes. 6 heroes in the mid lane. We got both supports, both mid laners trying to get an advantage back because as of now, it is really rough, right? Primal Beast already a very hard one to lane against. And Tusk, I mean, they knew what they were getting into, kind of. Like, they were allowing this counter pick to happen with the Tusk mid. But, you know, 19 CS already with 9 denies. Just a lot of XP, even 7 denies on the Broodmother as well. A lot of XP just gone from the Raven side right now. And maybe a little bit more here. Slannon does have 1 leap and a big stick, so we'll be fine. Vakara facing down a bit into the water runes and an onslaught topside. So, I mean, they're just trying to take away all the water runes that they can. Neither one will go to the Tusk here. And even topside deals the kinetic field. Dismar maybe in a bit of danger, already very low. Kataro trying to take him down, but a big stick again. Man, 6 win games, all right? Make sure you're picking those items up in your early laning stage.
Yeah, always good to have them when you're up against. Yeah, everyone's going to be spamming spells, so you might as well get in. It has saved 2 people's lives so far. Oscar, though, I don't think he's going to be as lucky.
No, I don't think so. No stick can save you from that one, so will fall. And Don may be able to get backwards, so slot in. Unfortunately, with all those rotations, does open up a little bit of a kill slot for the Underlord, which you usually don't see falling in lane very often at all. Usually very, very thick.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, you're up against, like, Crystal Main Pudge, right? It's a lot of slows, a lot of damage, and you have ways to stop the TP, stop him from teleporting out. And the Mirana cannot handle the damage. Like, anytime she gets the Frostbite hook, she has to, you know, that's like 3/4 of her health gone. And you can see, like, right, she's always walking around with that much health. So it's just very scary for Sladeen to do anything. And MJZ does lose his life. So I was worried this bar was gonna die first. I was like, what? No, I thought, you know, it's gonna go Raven safe. So they do get the kill on MJZ. And I believe is his 2nd kill on him. Either way, no, sorry, they just got a kill on Pudge Bomber. So sorry, on the Underworld Bomber. So even Ravens having a nice early game start that the panel was talking about.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like, they were even talking about, like, 5-pick Mirana for Infamous, very, very good. Slotted is a fantastic Mirana player, but there is kind of this little, like, rock, paper, scissors. Like, Mirana does fantastic against strength heroes, strength supports in that lane because of your high physical damage and typically low armor on those heroes. But end heroes will usually do really well against the Mirana because Mirana has a very, very low HP pool. Even like Jakiros get picked up sometimes. This makes the game very hard to play. And now a lot of magic damage right there. Bippy helping Kara pick up the kill here with the onslaught. Now it looks like doesn't get the rune. Slanham will be the one to pick up that regen here at the 6-minute mark. So a little bit of advantage for the Tusk now.
Yeah, he had a leap charge, but wasn't expecting the damage coming out from that, and didn't really use it in time, unfortunately for them. And no, Boss comes out here so far though, because the Broodmother is the big winner here in the Benjaz. So yeah, double Wraith Band's going to go probably for the Greaves build. That's what we see everyone really go for. But he is the big winner of the laning stage right now, but followed very closely by PP on the Primal Beast. Tusk? Alright, we got level 6 on Tusk, so the rotation can start. And I gotta say, that Crystal Maiden looking mighty juicy. You know, like one Walrus Punch. If you're the Tusk, and that's just gonna be she's got 620 health. That's free food right there.
Yeah, we've got a few of those actually in this one. Disruptor, Crystal Maiden, for a little bit the Mirana. I think Snapfire maybe only support that like can live through some of these bursty spells. But yeah, no, Crystal Maiden is always... That's the hardest thing about the hero. Even whenever it started getting buffed a good bit, people were trying to play it in the mid lane with the BKB Link Rush. right? Like, it doesn't matter how good the hero is, you're still sitting at like 700 HP. I remember maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, you're actually starting to bracer on that hero a lot because you just had no HP to your name. It at least helped you not die as much.
Well, but Qatar, he's just gonna go to the jungle now. He's like, yeah, Broodmother is doing too much, and he has the lowest CS of all among all the cores. So the jungle is going to be where he's going to be able to at least recoup a little bit of that. And I do imagine that we're going to see Slatham's going to rotate around just to make space for his team. That's what the Tusk does, right? And it's a bit scary though, because he didn't have the best laning phase, and you don't get much like the mid game timing is the most important for the Tusk. You know, between that 10 to 25 minute mark, that's when you will have most of your impact.
Yeah. Thankfully, yeah, it looks like the net worth is still up for the Tusk. So I'm astonished because the CS really hasn't been there. So I must have used that regen for a very good cause. Still has a really good amount of net worth, honestly. And you can see the difference between the Naga Siren and the Pudge is the one we really want to look out for right now. About 400, Pudge already has the hood, so it's pretty survivable, but that's True Strike on the Walrus Punch. So let's see if Sonam is able to make something happen here. Gotta be careful, getting Snowball on, and popping the hood. A lot of damage from that Firestorm, and the Cookie out through the Pit of Malice, and almost got Slattam to come right on back, but looks like they will just get away. 3 heroes put down bottom, though. Pippi, maybe he wants to make something happen here now that they've TP'd and rotated all these heroes.
Oh man, what a cookie, right? I was wondering, like, do you want to go for Pudge, the tankiest hero on the enemy side? And looks like they are going to get him in the end, though. He came back for more. I love when that happens. You know, you're like, hey, can you imagine how Dismar feels right now? He's like, dude, I rotated here. I saved your life. What are you doing? He's like, no. They deserve that kill. It was a good gag. You know, you gotta reward them sometimes. And,
I am astonished. Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to get that kill at all, right? You just saw them rotate everybody down. All right, they just tried to kill you with a Firestorm, right? And not a whole lot of commitment there. So I feel like you maybe should have seen that one coming.
Infamous getting, they're happy with that rotation now that they were able to kill. They were able to kill Dad. I was thinking he's gonna throw a hook out, but looks like he's not. And now we're seeing Benjaz start moving into the enemy jungle. PP is here as well. And for Kotawa, it's like, well, the lane is dangerous and the jungle is dangerous. Usually, Naga Siren can handle the Broodmother, but you have a Primal Beast on top, and that's a different story entirely.
He can rotate from so far away, and look at Pippi. Already's like kind of huddling in the jungle as well. He's gonna take like those first 2 camps. Oh no, bottom side, another good move with Sonnen. So the Mirana helping get another kill here, and Don maybe wants to throw out the hook, but already lost a friend. No need to shed more blood here.
I love that PP has 2 jobs that he has to do, and both are equally important. On one hand, he's the best guy at shutting down Kotaro on the Naga Siren. On the other side, you really can't fight 3 against 4 in the bottom lane, so you have to teleport there, and Benjas can't do it by himself. But in the meantime, Dad, he's taking some damage here.
And he keeps running forward. Will find a disruptor. Arrow's gonna stop the ulti here from Pudge, but that lockdown with the dismember still more than enough to get MJZ. And now in the mid lane, maybe a bit of danger for Slattam. This could be disastrous for Infamous. They lose both their mid laner and the fight down bottom, and the Broodmother's coming over for a tier 1 tower. And now this could be an absolute map strangle from Ravens if they do this correctly.
Dot is so tanky, dude. Starting out with that Hood of Defiance right there. Like, they tried to... I was looking at him, I was like, he's not losing any health. Like, they were hitting him, throwing the Firestorm, everything. He goes down to about 2/3 of his health, and that's the lowest he gets in that situation. So, just really difficult for them to bring him down. And I don't think they're going to. Nice glimpse here. Looks like that's going to be a dead Crystal Maiden.
It should be, right? All 600, 800... HP that she has. Arrow, she stopped, wanted to get hit by it. I don't think there's any way out of that one anyways there. So Karin will go down. Slattam picking up the kill actually with the ice shards. So no tier 1 tower gone. They are going to smoke up here. Ravens, they're not done yet.
I'm surprised PP's net worth is as low as it is, because he looked like he was just destroying the lane. But a lot of the time afterwards, he's in the jungle trying to find the Naga Siren, trying to find Kotar, and he does find it though. He is rewarded this time.
They do, and they're gonna try to TP in with the Underlord, but unfortunately your Naga Siren has already fallen. They'll try to get Dismar, but a nice cookie out of the pit. Oscar, they'll just drag him right on back. Nice glimpse here from NJZ. So they will trade, but that's your Naga Siren for a pause 4. I mean, Ravens are gonna take that every day.
And you can see Ravens also starting to put some wars in the enemy neutral camp, making sure that they can find Kotaro as much as they can. Kotaro, is he going to move to the triangle? It's not as valuable as it used to be. He's still pretty low level, so clearing out those ancient camps might take a while for him. Either way, Ravens, 2,000 gold net worth, kind of expected. They did have, a great laning in the top lane and as well as the middle lane, so it's kind of expected that they were going to do so pretty well. I'm wondering, is that enough, or is it going to be like, it's a bit of an advantage, but Infamous does have the better late game lineup here.
It's a good question. I mean, they're just now taking the tier 1 tower, which is fine, right? Like, the Broodmother has been kind of absorbing a lot of this farm on the top half of the map as well. I don't like how the Naga Siren is still getting up in the net worth, though, right? Like, Naga is not top dog, right, by any means here. But it's like climbing up. We're almost about to hit the Primal Beast, right? Who we said had a fantastic laning stage. So keep taking that part of the map, right? Keep taking top. Don't let her be there. Just keep her isolated to the spot side because you still have a tier 1 tower here, right? As soon as she shows in that lane, because eventually, if she actually ends up farming well, right, she'll have to take that. Like, then you can TP and get another kill. I like how you're kind of isolating this top side. Keep growing this net worth. And as long as Ravens get this first Aegis, I'd say probably at like 22, 23 minutes, and your tier 1 tower, at least you fought and killed the Naga Siren for it. I'm really happy with where they're going, but it does kind of hinge on maybe Infamous not stacking 4 or 5 heroes down bottom.
And Ravens, by the way, their mid-game timing with the Guardian Greaves, Broodmother, a Primal Beast, and a Pudge, they're so hard to bring down. Like, you look at Infamous draft, it's like Disruptor and Mirana, they're not exactly the biggest damage dealing supports. I mean, every hero does damage, but sometimes you're like, is this a lot of it? I don't think Mirana and Disruptor will be doing enough to chew through that. And Tusk, yeah, you got that nice percentage damage from the Firestorm. It's decent, but I feel like that's the big damage giver. Is going to be the Underlord and a little bit of the Tusk as well. But if Raven sticks as 5, I don't know if Infamous has the firepower to sort of be like, no, we can kill you, we can threaten you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that percentage-based HP means a lot, but as you said, it's not just the raw HP that makes them unkillable. That Greaves timing is going to be really hard from Benjaz. Honestly, Infamous is playing this very well, right? They sent the Underlord top, they were defending that tower, making sure that they don't lose it here. MJZ looks like he will be lost, but they also let the Naga Siren just go in and hit bottom, so they weren't able to take top side. They lost their bot tier 1. It kind of makes sense, but now this Naga Siren has a lot of space to farm, and you can see climbing on up, almost hitting the punch now with net worth. And I got to be a little bit worried if you're not continually shoving this Naga Siren back into the depths of her own jungle. Don't let her keep taking these lanes. And, well, Sodom gonna try to make something happen here. They are gonna TP through. Arrow will connect on the Snapfire as well. So that's a pause 4, getting murked definitely in the triangle. And yeah, Naga Siren using the Son of the Siren to stop the Primal Beast. Don't want them to get out just yet. They'll use the Pit of Malice as well. Everybody's surrounding this Primal Beast. Static Storm as well. But here comes Benjaz, the Broodmother. You didn't expect to be here this early, but Pippi will still fall. So all of a sudden with 2 gone here, Infamous fighting back, and Kara, yeah, not too beefy right now on the Crystal Maiden, but a nice hook from Don, maybe saving them because they still have so much heal. And well, Snowball, looks like Sodom will still connect here. Don, have they gone too far though? Benjaz back in on it. This is under your tier 1 basically in the mid lane, and the Broodmother just doesn't feel like he had the damage just yet, but a hook! Send him, slot him right on back. So Punch trying to do the damage, and now with the Mortimer's Kisses finally back from the grave is this Snapfire, and Sodom just can't get out of this one. So maybe a bit too far of a chase here from Infamous. They'll still lose their Tusk, but they do end up grabbing the Primal Beast and the Snapfire once in return.
Dude, infused raindrops and a fluffy hat and something like Crystal Maiden is a lot harder to bring down than we thought, right? Like just a couple of items that she's able to make. She's able to go back far enough near her to tier 1 tower. Everyone shows up to back her up, and suddenly you are able to get the kill on Slams instead. So Infamous, yeah, they beat off a little bit more than this you can chew at the end. Overall, they're pretty happy with how that engagement went.
Yeah, I think so. I wish the Primal Beast maybe had a little bit more help as they were doing that one early. It seemed like that was still a calculated move from Ravens. I don't think you had to lose him first, but still able to get the return kill on the Tusk is fantastic. And I almost forgot that this did start with the kill on the Disruptor as well.
It's hard to, I always have trouble seeing if things land when people start going high in the air. Like, I'm like, did the Adler land? She's in the air. I don't know. And a nice glimpse, making sure that the car doesn't get anything out of that freezing field. Look at that! Like, she lures them all the way from like near their, their triangle almost to her tier 1. That's pretty crazy. I mean, all he was walking a straight line, but still pretty impressive that he made that far.
Oh yeah, it looks like maybe a setup here. Glimpse is one hell of a job. We've seen it do some big work already in these games. Nice attempt in the mid lane there with the spider, but yeah, no, I've seen a different power from the hero. I'm honestly a little bit more surprised that it gets through in like these second phases sometimes, because it has seen a lot more popular with like the chase down. And oh, MJZ. It looks like they'll clear the spiders, and so with the Moonlight Shadow, with the shards, with all this magic damage, they'll even lose some spiders there on the Broodmother. But not done yet here. Looks like the cookie out. Crystal Maiden into the depths here, and well, maybe gonna get all thing down. No, Static Storm will stop any freezing field from coming through. It was gonna look juicy, but they will trade a Crystal Maiden for the Static Storm. It's like 5-on-5 action. Do you think that that's worth it, or do you think that Raven should be able to make some pressure now without that spell in the arsenal?
I think Infamous is pretty happy with how that's going on, because the whole time they're farming with Kotar, and Ravens, when they're sticking together, they're not getting as much value out of the Broodmother. However, I guess she's gonna be able to get her sleep off.
Oh, BKB from Pippi, and even the hook dot looks like trying to get the KS, but won't get it. But meanwhile, top, I mean, you got the Naga Siren, but Benjaz kind of locked in right now, having to go through the webs, but Sodom right on top. Maybe they can get on top a little bit more, but here comes a Primal Beast. You have managed to drag through this Broodmother. You'll end up getting the kill, but now with the hook dismember on the Underlord, you'll still lose your offlaner, and it's going to be a 1-for-2 trade, albeit that is a pretty thick offlaner to kill here for Infamous.
Yeah, in that case, I mean, Rave is there happy, right? Like you said, they traded offlaners, but they were able to get the Naga Sign before that, and really unfortunate that they were able to find like Kotar so often. They know where he is, right? Because he's like, well, he's not in his jungle. He has to be in ours. You get a nice pick off on that.
Yeah.
And Jazz, I wonder if Oscar's going to consider going for the Rod of Atos. It's the classic build, but he's going for all auras right now with the Guardian Greaves, with the Pipe of Insight as well, which is not wrong. Like, that is a good thing. You want that sustain. I'm considering if he's going to go for the Rod of Atos after that. Arrow lands.
Yeah, a little bit of a scuffle. Just threw down the Static Storm. Not a whole lot going on just yet. Gotta be careful. This one, no, he is in range of the glimpse here, so get back as much as you can here, but MJZ is just waiting to send someone back. Instead, he gets one sent forward. It's gonna be the charge through from the Primal Beast, and MJZ trying to get close enough to the snowball. There will be a save. I'm honestly surprised they didn't get with the Mortimers, but looks like Benjaz will still get it with the spawn of Spider Lanes. So they'll find themselves a disruptor kill. Bot side, they still have the Naga Siren farming. She's not too upset about this right now.
Yeah, but they found her. They scanned. They were like, okay, we know Naga's in that area. And looks like because they know they're going to go for Roshan. Ravens, they don't have that huge physical damage. All of it comes from the Pudge, the Primal Beast. There's all mixed damage, but eventually, if you have enough time, you're going to bring Roshan down eventually.
Trying to even just force everybody out here. Don't let any wards stay up. I like that kind of dedication. But surely Infamous know at this point, as we said, Ravens, they need this Aegis. They need to keep pushing on the rest of the map. You can't take down these tier 2s effectively at this time in the game without an Aegis going, right?
No, and Nagasai not too far away from the Skadi. She has both her orbs. Now she just needs. Now she only needs the point booster. She'll have it. Sliding is in the bottom lane.
Oh no! Just walks right into a Primal Beast, and yeah, Pippi gonna get the kill. 3 kill streak actually on Slot in there. So a nice chunk of gold there for the Primal Beast. And yeah, you said. I mean, she's got a vessel. And got a big wand as well. So not exactly the easiest Miranda to kill.
Overall, I mean, Infamous, they're doing a really good job delaying the game. Kotar is just farming bottom. Every once in a while, I see Ravens, they put pressure in one lane, and they're like, well, we can't just leave the Naga Siren free farming. It's not like they're getting massive kills. They're only 3 kills ahead of Infamous, 1,000 gold. These aren't big numbers. These aren't like, oh my god, they're absolutely crushing them. All for Kotar. Kotar's farming, and the rest of his team is suffering, but it's not crippling. It's,
No, not at all. And I feel like you're getting close to the point where you're like, hey, I'm hedging on this, Pudge. I have AoE damage, right, with the Rot. I even have this Primal Beast. Like, I have these bits and pieces of answers for the Naga Siren. As you said, she's got the Scotty. So, this heal that you're about to get, I imagine there's going to be a BKB and then maybe a Eternal Shroud. So, like, you're not going to heal as much as you think on the Pudge. And now, well, maybe a fight happening in the top tier 2. Dawn going to get glimpsed back here. Popping the hood as well, so pretty beefy. Even in the Static Storm, even in the Firestorm, not a whole lot of damage on the Pudge just yet, but Katara on the backline does find the Snapfire. They're gonna get one kill there, and on the Son of the Siren trying to disengage, and Pippi wasn't able to pop the BKB, in fact, I think already used. So this Son is actually stopping everybody in their track, but can you get any other kills afterwards? Pudge locked in, gonna get snowballed as well. No dismember available here. Gonna have one hook to bring it on back, but Slaughter will just punch on the way through, and they'll find themselves a kill on the Pudge. Now, Pippi trying to get in for this one, does manage to get one kill, but you've already lost 3 on the side of Ravens, and Benjaz just trying to run for dear life. Doesn't want to commit, but definitely doesn't want to get glimpsed back because this was buyback on MJZ. He's ready to drag back the Brood at any moment, and Benjaz has to just stand and fight because that's the only thing he can do now. Locked in the root, locked in the kinetic field, and Oscar's going to pick up another kill. This is truly a turning point for Infamous in this game.
Yeah, right, like a great move by MGZ to buy back, but overall, you can see I was thinking, I was like, will Naga Siren really be able to go up against the Pudge? He's super tanky, he has the Aghanim Scepter, and then when she got on top of him, she was able to shred him in that fight. So with the percentage damage coming out from the Underlord, despite how tanky Ravens are, Naga Siren's physical damage is massive, and yeah, it's a threat. It's something to be scared of, and for the first time in the game, Infamous takes a tiny net worth advantage, and Ravens needs to be careful. That Aegis looking like something you might need to win a fight, whereas before it was sort of like an optional objective that you could have gotten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, right now, you just don't, as you said, you don't really have the physical damage. You don't have, like, a Pango or Slardar, like, anything that naturally is going to give you Roshan for easy. And, well, jump through. They do get the Dismember on the Mirana, so they'll get something, right? They got themselves a pick topside. Roshan's looking a little bit open right now, but definitely not for free. I believe that the Son of the Siren not too far away from us. Yeah, only about 10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah.
So definitely contestable.
I love when that spell's maxed out and has like a tiny cooldown, which is pretty wild for how the spell works. But all right, it's fine. It's balanced, I'm sure. It is scary for Infamous to contest Roche. All the tier 1s in the top, like the top lane and as well as the mid lane, tier 1s are both standing. So all the access points to Roshan for the raid are still there if they want to fight for it. So. Yeah, this tier 2 falling, the outpost going for Raven side, suddenly Infamous. Anyone who dies will just be miles away when they want to sort of join the fight for Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, that tier 2 just is the last cutoff, right? Once you lose that tier 2, you also lose that outpost. And now Dire just has no contestation for Roche right now. And I really like it. Again, this game has been slipping away from Ravens. I think we said they're mid-game, they're lane focused. We need Aegis, all right? We need the Aegis to keep it going. You're getting a little bit out of the timing now, so this is how they drag it on backwards. So they are going right into the Roach pit here. Even gonna throw some spiders up for vision, but Infamous, they're not gonna letting this one go for free. You can see they're all surrounding the Roshan pit right now, and they're kind of just baiting it, right? No one's actually in the pit, and Benjaz is just trying to section everybody off for a good fight.
Both teams trying to start, even for Ravens, like they know they can't really commit all the way in. They're like some Naga sleep. You can go in. There's a Disruptor Static Field, Static Storm. Sorry, there is the Underlord Firestorm. There's a lot of things that really works well for them in the choke point. Or whereas Infamous, they also were like, well, we check and just jump in there. And they got these 3 tanky guys, so each one trying to get a couple, just a support pick off the Crystal Main, the Disruptor if you can. The shortest glimpse in the world on PP.
Not a whole lot done there. Honestly, I'm surprised that the Naga Siren is even like throwing illusions toward this. I feel like for every minute that Infamous is holding this off, it's just more farm for your Naga Siren, right? And you're just going to take that one for free. Instead, maybe not maximizing this as much as possible for Infamous.
Last time we saw like a minute ago, you already had enough gold for the Reaver. I wouldn't be surprised if he has about 200 gold. Sorry, 300 gold for the heart. I forgot if it's 1,000 or 1.2, but either way, he's very close to the heart. At which point, again, there is answers. There's massive AoE damage coming out from the Primal Beast, from the Pudge, who has the Aggro Center. So it's not the biggest deal, but 3.6k gold is a lot, health is a lot. EP?
Yeah, and you can feel it. Pepe gonna pop the BKB. So Infamous starting out this fight exactly how they want. They'll trade the Static Form for the BKB. Pepe, very susceptible to the magic damage from the Underlord, so can't really be in there for free anymore. All of a sudden, you just lost your tier 2 tower on Ravens. You're about to lose your mid tier 1. I mean, I can't believe that they've actually lost their grip on this game so quickly because Infamous even able to de-ward. It seems like they're the ones that's in control of the top side of the map now.
It comes down to one thing that Ravens had that cost them, the drafting problem, really. They don't really have structure damage. Oh, well, there we go. We might be losing someone here.
Oh yeah, MJZ. With all those Mortimer's Kisses, you can't protect them for too long with that one. They'll still lose their tier 1 tower, but MJZ is a sacrifice for it.
Yeah, going back to the point, like, your best structural, it's what, you have Snapfire, Little Shredder, the others, and Broodmother, yeah, you have good damage from your Spiderlings, but Primal Beast, Pudge, Crystal, these guys do nothing to towers, and for Infamous, they're like, yeah, we know you guys are going to win early, it's no big deal, because you guys are still not going to be able to actually capitalize on your victories. You guys aren't going to be able to threaten us with buildings. We're not worried about that. So it's a bit of an issue for Ravens that even if they dominate the early game, which they did, how could they translate that to objectives? And the answer is they couldn't.
I'm a little bit worried as well. I mean, the Naga Siren, I really like the build so far. You got yourself just beefed up, right? You've got the Scotty, you've got the Heart. Very hard for you to get any damage done on you. Even Shiva is going to come out from the Underlord, so they're going to start to have some physical protection as well. But I definitely agree with, like, this Pudge doesn't hit buildings, and a symptom of that is that you don't have physical damage, right? You have a Brood and the Spiders, so your physical damage just is not there. And Heart, Scotty, fantastic versus magical damage. And you even have others coming along from the rest of your team. You can see this fight. This is kind of the last one that looked like it should have been in favor of Ravens all the way. But I think a slight misuse of the BKBs maybe from Ravens. And also like the really nice splitting up this fight with the Son and Siren.
Look at, did you see Katara when he walked in? Like Dad was like at half health, and he just walks in. He's like, oh, he just shreds him, and you can't clear them instantly. Those illusions. I mean, sometimes I think why teams don't pick up like here, like sort of Shadow Shaman, who would have been a decent pick for them to take buildings. But in the meantime, though, if you guys, you can see the Bet Boom banner right there. If you guys want to join, click on the bottom of the stream, and you get 100% bonus on your for your first deposit. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, what do you think? Would you bet on the Ravens right now, Mr. Math Magician?
Right now, I don't know. Not to brag, but I put 1,000 channel points on Ravens in the chat, so I've already thrown some bets in for Ravens. It looks like we even have a little bit of a fight maybe for Ravens, but right now I'm scared. Right, the entire panel's like, look, Ravens, they got this laning stage, they got this early game. I still don't see a Roshan. All right, I would be a little bit scared to bet on the Ravens right now, just because I need to see them truly dominate this early game so they can transfer that into a late game victory. The game that they took versus Alliance, which I think a lot of people would say they shouldn't have been able to take a game off of Alliance at all. They took it very late. They had that early game and they just kind of ran through to, I think, 56 minutes. Oof, so like they need to have that sort of dominance early, and I'm just not seeing it right now.
Well, we'll see if this fight.
I mean, they're gonna try here. Yeah, I mean, punched up here. Kara trying to get away. Gonna throw the freezing field down. We'll give armor, but here comes Kotaro from the back line, actually, with the Son of the Siren. Stopping everything. Hook from Don. Almost got him. And Pepe, not done yet. Blinks right on in. The Pulverize on two. And Tusk, surely not to live through this one. So they'll find themselves a nice kill in the mid laner. But how much more can they actually get from this one? Another hook misses from the Pudge. And really, Tusk is all that you got out of this one, though you do trade for the Son of the Siren.
BKBs were used, but again, Tusk's out for 30 seconds. The bigger deal is, can we take Roshan with this? They have 30 seconds. I feel like this is going to be a bit of an open rush here for Ravens. Was Infamous, yeah, with Song down, without your Tusk, it might be just that there's nothing they can do about it. So, takes them a while on Ravens' side to get the first Aegis, but they do, and this could be the turning point for them.
They need it. I mean, 30 minutes in, this is where you want to be getting an Aegis and a Shard, and then, you know, kind of clearing out into the higher ground maybe. Now we're at 30 minutes in and you're clearing out the rest of the tier 2s. Honestly, not too difficult to do that anymore. Teams are going to be typically grouping up more. You know, you see a tier 2 going down, you're like, whatever. I don't want a feed going to pick that up. So it's maybe 5 minutes later than what you want, but hopefully they can take this one right. They can get the honor towers down, build yourself even more of a net worth lead, because right now the Naga Siren, you've got the Skadi, you've got the Heart, you've got the Mage Slayer, so the magic damage just is not intimidating for you right now. You need to get something for yourself, whether that is hexes to keep control of the Naga, or it is just maybe defensive items for yourself, so you're allowing this AoE damage to do its work. Or whatever you need to do, you need to build yourself up a gold lead right now from Raven so you can make it happen.
I love that Mage Slayer build-up, right? Like, we talked about them having so much magical damage, not so much physical. He's like, yeah, I'll just get Mage Slayer. That mitigates a whole lot of that problem here. If only Wraith Pact was its glory from all.
Yeah, Wraith Pact could have been an answer. Unfortunately for MJZ, nothing is an answer for the Pudge with the BKB. So another Flesh Heap, that's what the answer is. It's infinite scaling. All right, we need the Pudge to get big. Now Slotin trying to jump away here, but the dive through from Pippi, even popping the BKB, wasn't sure what was up that high ground, and man, the old BM pause on yourself, self-burn, those are rare.
Oh, or he had internet issues, but we prefer the other narrative, you know? We prefer like, oh, I can't believe he did that. And Ravens, they're upping their aggression a little bit. I like it, what they're doing. They're getting their supports down, and if you look at Infamous, I like their draft more. I still believe they're taking, but their farm is mostly concentrated on the Naga Siren. You can see the other two cores are below all the cores from Raven's side. So it's Naga Siren mostly against the world, right? Like, it doesn't feel like her team will be able to give her as much support as you'd like. We'll see if Kotaros is going to be up to the task. He's also only level 17. This is a problem with the hero. You look at it, you're like, oh my god, the net worth is so high, but most of it comes from illusions, which don't give you experience, so the hero is still quite low level right now.
Yeah, and I will say there's a bit of an issue maybe whenever it's like the Naga Siren versus the world, and there's not a whole lot of offensive items, right? So this Snapfire able to get away. Nope, never mind. Pudge will punch on through. Slots of getting the kill, but maybe paid for it, right? Benja's trying to come with the spiders, but the spiders don't last very long at all. In fact, instant purging the net, so using a lot of your items immediately just to get away from the Naga Siren. I was gonna say maybe there isn't as much offensive pressure because you're going for these offensive items or defensive items. You don't have a blink, you don't have the Bloodthorn yet, you don't have a Hex, you don't have these things that really help you kill on the Naga Siren. But yeah, if your Tusk and your Underlord can be the damage, which one will provide heavy physical damage and the other heavy magical damage, and maybe you can go for this one where like your Naga Siren just needs to live, all right? The rest of your team will come through for you.
Yeah, plus I guess I reduced the armor a lot, which made the Walrus Punch also do heavy damage. But look at PP, by the way, he's getting very close to the Aghanim Scepter, which does give you that the Uproar, which sends out all these like scale things. I don't know what they're called, but that's a little bit more AoE damage. And again, it's just so much mass AoE magic damage coming out from Ravens. And will Naga be able to handle it? We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, in the Static Storm, Brood trying to get away here, but the Pipe and the Greaves maybe keep him alive for a little bit longer. Even has a Lotus Orb, and well, Pippi allowed to do all this damage. They're trying to TP out on Oscar, and he will back out. Oh my goodness! No BKB popped in the entirety. You lose only to Disruptor. Infamous, you gotta be real happy out of that one.
Oh man, dude, I swear I saw lightning, I saw ice, I saw fire from hell, and you're like, my god, this is going to be like 8 people die. And it's like, oh, it's just literally the position 5 of the guy with the lowest net worth in the game died. That's about it. Like, that guy dies no matter what. So that's a little anticlimactic, but very impressive move by Kotaro. Just press it. He pressed R, then he TP'd home, but that's still very, very impressive. Although Sladi does lose his life as well. So these supports have been dying left and right for Infamous. It's a lot. They haven't been able to be on the map as often as you'd like, which means that Ravens is a little bit more freedom than they should.
Yeah, and they're both backline supports, right? Arguably the only backline on their entire team, right? Naga Siren, Underlord, Tusk, those are all going to be your frontliners starting this for you. So it's just two squishy supports, right? A Disruptor, Moran, they're trying to make some kill happen, but as soon as they get caught out, they are dead. And Pepe trying to make it happen again here, but this time with the touch, so Slotham goes down. Now MJZ on the high ground. Where did this game crack open from? I feel like I just saw a fight where Infamous said, just TP, LOL. They're out of here, but now, Ravens, they're not done. They're going right up the high ground. They've already gotten a kill on 2. Dodd trying to get another one, but maybe getting a tier 3 tower here on Ravens.
Katawa is sending his illusions to sort of cut the creep wave a little bit, but yeah, we'll see if that's going to be enough for them here. And no, the tower still falls. The creep wave is pushed, so I imagine that we're going to get the backup protection coming out any second now. So at least Ravens are not going to be able to get. Well, they might be able to get kills, if not buildings.
Yeah, they'll try to get something here. Slanin will just back out here with the ulti. So unfortunately, Pepe and crew feels like maybe they've overstayed their welcome. Don't throw high ground, back it up. Carl, though, wants to make something happen. Benja is going to go in, but the BKB popped by Slotin. We won't fall just yet. They've already lost Slotin, though. And, well, MJZ. Both supports, you said, from Infamous already out. Another pulverize, but this time they found the real Naga Siren. The snowball save, not close enough. They finally dragged her in, but not before 50% of the HP was gone. Guitaro popping the ulti here. Solon out. Oscar going to try to set something else, because look at this. 4 heroes in the pit, and in the static storm. What can you make of this, Infamous? Because it seems like you're still falling. They'll get this primal beast, but Benjaz able to escape, and the cookie on 3. Dismar ending this fight for Ravens, and they'll grab themselves 3 kills, a buyback on the Underlord, and it doesn't matter what you do with this portal. Kara even teasing it, because more will fall on Infamous. It's a Yule's up into the sky for the Marana, and 1 leap away is not enough to save you from the hooking grasp of Dodd.
Even when they were able to get that beautiful everyone in the Pit of Malice, everyone in the Static Storm, and you look at Infamous, you're like, you guys are really far behind. And Kotar's health was like half at least. So I was thinking that this is not going to turn out too well for them, but they took the risk. They decided it was worth it, and unfortunately for them, Ravens came out on top. No buybacks available on anyone on Infamous side. But I think it's going to be dead for 50 seconds. We will have Kotar up in about 30, so maybe in time to protect the last set of racks here, but overall, Ravens, they're just too beefy, man. They are so hard to bring down. You look at Infamous, only 2 guys are really doing damage. The Tusk has fallen off at this point of the game. And it's look at what Punch has. He's got a Shiva's Guard. He's got a Hood of Defiance. His physical magical resistances are insane.
Yeah, he is very, very beefy. And honestly, to go back to it, right? You have a Pit of Malice on a Solid Siren, right? You have 4 heroes in it. You drop the Static Storm down. Honestly, if you aren't winning that fight at 35 minutes, you're not winning a fight that starts like that at 41 minutes either, right? Like, if you don't take it now and you can't win it, then that's just the best chance you have. I like them trying to go for it, but as you said, they just are too far behind now after Ravens have just continued to move on the map. And look at this. Like, you can't get anything better than that to start a fight.
Katar's got no health. He walks in, there's the Pudge Rot is on him. The Primal Beast is just smashing the ground, and if you need your health on the Naga side, so your illusions have a little more health to start out with, and everything like that. It's still, I mean, they're not out. Infamous, they're 20,000 gold behind, but I've gone into the camp of I don't think they're making it this one. I think it's gonna be 1-0 after this, and it's 95% here for Ravens. It's crazy because 5 minutes ago it felt like it was 50-50.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And honestly, hey, I've been a pretty big fan of whenever Naga Sirens pick up that shard. Maybe that was one fight where you maybe needed that one, right? Get all your team up to full HP, full mana. Maybe that would have felt a bit better. But yeah, no, I mean Naga Siren, definitely, as you said, kind of Naga versus the world right now. And with a 20,000 net worth lead, it feels rough. Aegis is going to feel even worse. 37 minutes in, and we're finally seeing our second Aegis of the game. But hey, if there's any here to do it, Naga Siren may be the one that you can hedge your bets on.
I like your point about the shard on the Naga Siren. It's I think 5% of your max health a second, of you and your allies max health a second. And the songs were, I think, 6 or 7. It lasts 6 or 7 seconds, so you're almost gonna get at least a third of your health, no matter what, which would have been really helpful in that situation. Because after the song was over, like we saw, he just had a third of his health. and he did melt. It took them a while to kill him, but he did die in the end. So, all right,
Yeah.
it's Infamous, 21,000 gold behind. Items that they need aren't finished yet. They don't even have the Shiva's got on the Underlord. He's gonna get an action just a little bit here, but your supports. You got Yule's on the.
Oh,
Wait, they might actually.
goodness. That's just
All
dirty.
right, we got Agam Scepter on Disruptor. Don't worry about it, Matt. Disruptor's gonna save us.
I like a good Ags, right? No buttons to press, no games to win. I can be a bandit, but you need a really nice start with a song. Honestly, let yourself get hooked, all right? Get the song up, and then maybe you can start a fight.
Unfortunately, they have 4 minutes of this Aegis, so I don't think Raven's gonna want to like wait out there. Like, we want to use this Aegis to get the mega creeps. So if they are gonna go up against this extremely tanky Pudge, they have to bring down twice. They gotta do it very soon because they already lost a tier 3 tower.
Yeah. They've already.
It's
know that you're
living-
giving up the tower whenever you have an obs and ascent already drop down whenever it dies.
I love that. I was like, oh, it's gone. It's like says on 2 health, and I love what Oscar's. He's like, all right, fine, we'll deny it. We don't want the poor guy to look like a fool. Infamous.
It's always good, you deny the gold. Oh my goodness, Pippi actually just blocked all 4 of the smoke here. Now they will just turn and say, hey, maybe we'll just try to kill you. All right, the third on the Static Storm, but Dawn with the shard. He actually just saves Pippi. That was your one shot to maybe get something back out of this one for Infamous. And a poor old shard from Pudge just takes it right out of your hands. I don't know how you take a fight like that afterwards. Pippi jumps right on in, breaking everybody on Infamous. The BKB's blind, but the Sunless Siren, you've already lost Slann, and what else can you do here? To jump through with the heavy blink, and man, Pippi, refresher, do it again. Kataro maybe falling into the Pudge, and even if they do trade out kills here, one of them have an Aegis, and the other one doesn't. And unfortunately, the Pudge is the one that has an extra life to come back with. Everybody out from Infamous. It's game 1 going to Ravens here, and wow, that was a fantastic performance. Even with both of them sitting at the bottom of the division, I don't think many people had Ravens pegged to take this game 1.
No, not at all. I mean, well, Infamous is like 4-10. Ravens is only 2-10. So you go in, you're like, yeah, Infamous is the favorites. They drafted this sort of late game lineup. Ravens at one point they were starting to fall. They were behind net worth, but I mean, Pudge and Primal Beast and Brood Mother with a bunch of aura items. Very tanky, hard to bring down. Infamous draft. It was all on Qatar to do the damage, and he just couldn't. The other 4 were. Oscar again was doing some damage, but it wasn't enough. And in the end, Ravens, they just steamrolled through them. Like, they were like unkillable, and that's what led them to their victory. So congratulations to them. But it's still only one game. They gotta win the second one for them to remain in Division, to have a chance at staying in Division 1. Infamous, the next game is do or die.
Absolutely. And I feel like you have just a little bit of an issue maybe to go to game number 2, because I think the Broodmother was a really big part of why they won this game. And you still have some stuff to kind of work through, I think, on Ravens, right? If you want to continue kind of this 2-0 series, Roshan was an issue, all right? You had a great laning stage, had a great mid game. Roshan was there until like 30 minutes, all right? If you really want to keep stomping out these games, maybe make it a little less excited for you. Get that Roshan earlier.
Yeah, for Infamous' side, I like what they were doing early on with Qatar was just away from the team there, and you can see like all the time it was like, oh, do we deal with Qatar? Do we try to take him? Do we deal with Qatar? And that was when Infamous looked like the best, when they just started to take those fights. But durability was too much to go for. For Ravens, maybe get rid of the Brood Mother because that laning stage. I think PP MVP, by the way. I gotta say, PP was the MVP with the Primal Beast because he was able to shut down Qatar in the forest, and then he was able to chase him the bottom lane. He did a great job in the laning stage as well. Even though Slams had better farm, that was shocking considering the denies. Overall, PP was able to run around the map, make sure he got space, stayed relevant throughout it, and congratulations, Raven. One game. I would say congratulations, but it's one game, and we still have a little bit more for them to go.
Absolutely. And we're going to go to a very quick break here. Stick around here because we've got game number 2 of Ravens versus Infamous coming right around the corner.